This build makes the floor look like a bottomless pit, and this build makes a snow golem turret to protect your house from mobs. Here are 33 genius builds that breaks Minecraft's rules. This tip can save you so much time while building and feels almost illegal. Everyone knows that you need a block behind to place a block in front of it, but did you know that if you click both mouse buttons at the same time, you can replace blocks in thin air? You do not need a block behind to actually add a block, meaning you can fix stair rotations instantly without ever placing a scaffold. Everyone knows that TNT is normally useless underwater. It might damage entities, but it refuses to break any blocks, forcing you to mine everything out of hand. But there is a simple trick to bypass this. Since TNT won't destroy blocks if it's touching water, you just need to displace the water at the exact moment it explodes. To do this, place a block affected by gravity, like sand or gravel, directly on top of the TNT before you light it. When the TNT ignites, the sand falls into the same block space. This tricks the game into thinking the TNT is inside a solid block rather than water, allowing it to blow a massive hole in the ocean floor. Lighting up your base usually means spamming ugly torches everywhere, and in Java Edition, if you try to hide a torch under a slab, the room goes pitch black. But Bedrock Edition physics are completely broken. If you place a slab over a light source here, the light phases right through the solid stone. It creates a completely invisible light source, so your floor can glow without ruining the aesthetic. Parrots are cute, but let's be honest, they never stay where you put them. So let's build them a prison, a home. Start with a wall and some lightning rods to create a perch, but the secret ingredient is the copper grate. If you push the grate down using a piston, it doesn't suffocate the bird. It creates a perfect set of bars. Adding a chain to the top, you have a realistic hanging bird cage. Lava is the best fuel source in the game because a single bucket smells 100 items. But for 10 years, there was one hard rule. Lava is non-renewable. Once you use it, it was gone forever. But dripstone completely broke that logic. If you place lava above it, it slowly drips into the cauldron. It creates an infinite lava source, meaning you never have to mine for coal ever again. Sheep are usually pretty boring. They come in white, black, or gray. But there is a hidden developer secret that turns them into living decor. If you name a sheep Jeb with an underscore, it immediately starts cycling through every color in the game. Just don't expect it to give you rainbow wool, as when you shear it, the color it gives is the wool just before it's named. This isn't a funny Easter egg. You can use these guys to create organic rainbow farms. It is the cheapest form of home decor idea ever. Solar lamps are great, but it stays on all night even when you're sleeping. If you want to save power and look cool doing it, swap the solar panel for a skulk sensor. Now, the light is triggered by sound. It creates a fully automatic motion-activated hallway. The lights follow you wherever you go. It makes you feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie. Building a flower shop usually implies using the same boring flower pot, but you can build a massive stall using industrial items. Start by placing rails on top of wood, and then the secret ingredient, minecarts with hoppers. These are for collecting items. They look exactly like heavy-duty metal planters, and you have a modern flower stall ready for business. This looks like a bottomless pit, but it is completely solid. Here's exactly how you build it, step by step. Start by digging a 20-block deep hole. Replace the walls with black concrete to create a clean dark frame. For the first layer, place your light source. Glowstone or frog lights work best. For the second layer, cover the lights completely with black carpet. For the third layer, place black stained glass directly on top of the carpet. Now add some depth. Randomly place end rods floating in the air. And finally, seal it with another layer of black glass on top. Repeat this layering process until you reach the surface. This combination of depth, lighting, and transparency creates a stunning void effect, perfect for any high-tech or eerie build. Organizing chests is a nightmare. It wastes hours of your life, but this build feels almost illegal. Here is exactly how to build it. Make sure you place down 5 double chests, then connect hoppers into the back of each chest. Behind the hoppers, break 5 blocks and place redstone torches. Skip 1 block, break 5 more, and place repeaters facing towards the chest. Cover this area up with any block you want, then place 15 pieces of redstone dust on top. Place redstone comparators in front of the repeaters, then make sure you crouch and place hoppers hoppers into each side of the comparator. Make sure they are all facing this direction. Place some grass blocks over the chest, and then add 3 blocks of hoppers leading into the top block. Add another block out and place a chest. This is where you will input your items. Now break the end block and place a chest. Any of your on-the-side items will go here. Next, place item frames on the front of each chest and insert the items you want sorted. Using an anvil, rename 5 stacks of 44 dirt blocks. Go to the back of the hoppers, and in the second row, place 11 renamed dirt blocks in each slot except the first. In the first slot, place the item you want sorted in that chest. Now drop all your items into the input chest at the top. The system will automatically sort everything, and any unassigned items will go into the overflow chest. Maybe you want a tree that breaks every rule of nature. Instead of random leaves, we are making cubes. Mix moss, lime concrete, and lime wool. Cluster them together in big blocks. And for the trunk, you can use a different mix of wood blocks and dirt. It creates a really cool looking trunk. The whole thing looks like a modern art piece. Here is how to make a working doorbell. Start with redstone dust underneath where your button will go. Pull the signal down into the floorboards with a repeater. Route it to 2 note blocks. This is the important part. Place the note blocks on top of gold blocks. This gives it the right bell sound. Tune the first one 10 times. Tune the second one 6 times. Put a repeater with max delay between them. Now your house has a voice. In Minecraft, when you place snow on top of a grass block, the texture changes to white. It looks great, but there is one problem. If you remove the snow layer, the grass instantly turns back to green. But there is a glitch that allows you to get this snowy block without the snow. It looks completely cursed. To get it in survival, you need to play on version 1.16 and find an enderman. If an enderman picks up a snowy grass block, it saves that texture state. When he places it back down, the snow layer is gone, but the block stays white. If you are in creative, just use a debug stick to force the change. But in survival, it is a trophy that proves you broke the game's code. This grass is cursed to stay white forever. But your subscribe button doesn't have to be, so do me a favor. Break the curse, click the button, and change its color. Carpets are not just for decoration, they are for burning. We can duplicate them for infinite fuel. The build is simple. Use dead coral fans and slime blocks. Hook it up to a redstone clock. They can power every furnace in your base for free, unless you cook as many pork chops as you want. Floating lanterns look impossible. Normally, a carpet needs a floor, and the lantern needs a solid block. If you break the block, they both break. But you can turn gravity off using a simple weed, glow lichen. Here is how to do it. First, place a temporary support block. Then place glow lichen on the side of it. Now place your carpet sitting on top of the lichen. Aim at the support block, not the lichen itself, or you will accidentally replace it. Now for the glitch. Add another piece of glow lichen directly underneath the carpet. This tricks the game into thinking the carpet is fully supported. Now you can break the original support block and remove the first lichen. The carpet stays floating in midair. Hang your lantern under it and you have a magical floating light source. Mining sand is necessary for glass, but it destroys your shovels, and digging it by hand takes forever. But you can clear an entire hill without wasting any durability. Find a tall stack of sand or gravel, break the very bottom block, and instantly place a torch in its spot. Because the game counts a torch as a partial block, the sand cannot land on it. The entire stack falls, hits the torch, and instantly breaks into items. It is the quickest, most eco-friendly way to gather resources without breaking a single tool. Mining out a perimeter takes forever, and crafting thousands of TNT requires a lot of resources. But why craft TNT when you can just clone it? The machine relies on a glitch that Mojang refuses to fix. Here is how to build it. Start by building at least 20 blocks up so you don't blow yourself up. Place a sticky piston facing out, add 3 slime blocks in an L shape attached to it. Place a wall on the front face of the slime. Add a detector rail on top of the wall and place a minecart on it. Then attach another 3 slime blocks to the side. Now for the dangerous part. Place TNT directly under the wall. Plant a dead coral fan next to the TNT. Finally, place an observer facing the first slime block and put a lever on the back of the piston. Flick the lever and it creates infinite destruction for free. Beehives are messy, but the floor always stays clean. Let's make it look sticky. Dig out the block directly underneath your beehive. Replace it with gold ore. The yellow specks in the stone texture match the honey particles perfectly. It looks like the hive is leaking and creating a puddle of sticky gold build on the floor. Everyone wants a secret underwater base, but half the time you forget where you hid the door. This genius hack uses a magma bubble column as a vacuum. If you swim over the magma block, the downward current instantly drags you to the bottom. It pulls you into the exact spot, letting you smoothly glide into your secret home. Mining out a large area usually takes hours, but this hack lets you delete chunks in seconds. All you have to do is place down a single moss block. Hit it with bone meal. The moss instantly infects all the stone around it. But here is the best part. It ignores the ores, so you won't accidentally delete your diamonds. Now grab a hoe. Since moss breaks instantly, you can clean the room faster than creative mode. It is the quickest way to carve out an underground base. Standard decoration is boring, but this water kelp tank looks amazing. Start by placing quartz stairs at the bottom, then place inverted quartz stairs directly above them at the top. Waterlog both the top and bottom stairs. The water flows together to create a contained column. Finally, plant kelp right in the center, and you finally get decoration that is not boring. You finish your house, go to sleep, and wake up ready to explore. But the second you step outside, a creeper ruins everything. Let's make sure that never happens again by building the ultimate defense tower. Start with 4 stone brick stairs on the ground to form a base. Stack 4 oak logs in the middle. On the top log, place stone brick walls on every side. Now place soul sand on top of each wall. Cage the soul sand in with iron bars and add 1 more bar on top of each stack to make it look sharp. Now build a platform or stone slabs around the top, but leave a hole in the very center. This is the cockpit. Spawn your gunners, 2 snow blocks, and a pumpkin. Repeat this process several times until you have an army. Place slabs around his head and cap the roof with smooth stone. Finally, ignite the soul sand. The blue flames surround the turret. Now, whenever a mob gets close, it shoots soul fireballs that burn your enemies to ash before they can even touch your door. Building a bubble elevator is usually a nightmare. For the bubbles to work, every single block needs to be a water source. Hauling buckets back and forth takes forever, but you can cheat the system using kelp. Pour a single bucket at the top and let it flow all the way down. Now plant kelp at the bottom and hit it with bone meal. As kelp grows, it converts flowing water into source blocks, and you have a fully functional elevator in seconds. You can make a mini well by placing 4 stairs facing inwards, waterlogging the stairs, and add some roofing. Besides acting as a cool piece of decor, it also acts like an infinite water source. Smokers are essential. They cook food faster than a normal furnace, but they have one massive design flaw. They don't actually smoke. They just sit there looking dead. Here is the fix. Dig 1 block down and place a campfire. Now place your smoker directly on top. The game allows the campfire particles to phase right through the solid block. Now it finally looks like it is actually cooking something. Building a working turret usually requires mods, but you can build a self-seeking defense system using just a zombie. Dig a hole and trap a zombie or a husk inside a minecart. Name him Dinnerbone to flip him upside down. Now his legs are sticking straight up in the air. Use a piston to push a block over his head to hide the body. Now all you see are 2 barrels sticking out of the ground, and because the zombie is always trying to track you, the turret actually aims at you. If you want heavy artillery, use an Enderman. His long legs look like an anti-aircraft artillery. Falling from a high place usually ends with a respawn screen. We all know the water bucket trick, but it makes a mess. The cleaner solution is powder snow. It negates 100% of fall damage, but here's a secret. It still works even if you cover it up. You can hide the snow completely under a carpet design or pixel art. Now, when you jump, you hit the carpet, but the snow beneath catches you. You take 0 damage. Doors are obsolete. You always forget to close them. Here is how to build an entrance that is open to you, but impossible for mobs. Dig a 3x3 pit in front of your house. Make it at least 4 blocks deep. Now, place strings, and cover the string with carpets that match your floor. To you, it looks like a normal rug. You can walk right over it. But for mobs, they think it is a death pit and refuse to cross. They can leave your house wide open, and the monsters will just stand outside and watch. The loom is one of the most unique blocks in the game because it looks like an air grate, but vents are supposed to vent smoke. So place a campfire underground and place a loom directly on top of it. The smoke particles fades right through the loom's texture. It creates a realistic working air vent for your factory or city builds. Here is how to build a real interrogation room that actually works in Bedrock. First, frame your window with black concrete. Fill it with tinted glass. Do not use black stained glass. It has to be tinted glass because it blocks light. Now build the interrogation room on one side, flood it with light, place glowstone everywhere. On the other side, build your spy room. Make this room pitch black. Do not place a door because light will leak in. You have to enter through a tunnel from below. From the dark side, you can see everything clearly, but from the bright side, it just looks like a dark solid mirror. It is the perfect way to spy on your friends without them ever knowing. But while all those builds sound illegal, here are 33 secret Minecraft myths which are real that you have definitely missed. I uncovered every single one of them in this video on screen. Click it right now before you get fooled again.